I thank Ms. Leon for her briefing. I now give the floor to Ambassador Dian Djani, Indonesia. Ambassador.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Sorry. Thanks so much, Mr. President. Mr. President, Djani, thank you for this opportunity to brief the Security Council on the work of the 1988 Committee, which I'm pleased to do in accordance with paragraph 56 of Resolution 2255 of 2015. I'm also thankful that the Special Representative of the Secretary General, Deborah Lyons, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, UNAMA, for their support of the work of the 1988 Sanction Committee and continuous assistance to the analytical support and sanction monitoring team. As this will be my last briefing to the Council as the chair of the committee, please also allow me to thank my 1988 committee colleagues, the monitoring team, and the Secretariat for the excellent cooperation, as well as invaluable support over the past 2 years. Particularly, I would like to thank Mr. Edmund Fitton Brown, the coordinator of the monitoring team, and Mr. Kihocha, as well as his team from the Secretariat. Mr. President, as you are aware, the 1988 Committee's main goal is to deter Taliban from continuing to support Al-Qaeda and its affiliate and to deter Taliban attacks against the government of Afghanistan through the use of its sanction measures. Concurrently, the 1988 sanction regime is intended to support the peace and reconciliation process, including enabling list persons to engage in peace and reconciliation negotiations. The ongoing Afghanistan peace negotiations in Doha are encouraging, and it is our hope that the work of the 1988 Committee can support the creation of an environment conducive for lasting and sustainable peace in Afghanistan. That said, let me once again quote Resolution 2513 of 2020, where the Council expresses its readiness to consider the start of the review of the status of designation of individuals, groups, undertakings, and entities on the 1988 list in order to support the peace process, and at the same time urges all states to conduct without any delay national reviews, mindful that Taliban action or the lack thereof to further reduce violence, make sustained efforts to advance intra-Afghan negotiation, and otherwise cease to engage in or support activities that threaten the peace, stability, and security of Afghanistan will affect the review. Mr. President, in its latest report of May 2020, the monitoring team noted that the relation between the Taliban, especially the Haqqani network, and Al-Qaeda remain close. It was further stressed that the challenge would be to secure the counter-terrorism gains to which the Taliban have committed, which would require them to deny groups, including Al-Qaeda, the use of Afghan territory as a source of international threats. The report also stated that the Taliban's ongoing profiting from narcotics would continue to present a challenge, as the scale of the problem remained huge and had been further complicated by a boom in methamphetamine production and trafficking. The report also noted that the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant Khorasan ISIL-K had suffered severe setbacks in 2019 and early 2020, being nearly eradicated from its main base in Nangarhar province in November 2019, and then incurring further losses in its new refuge in neighboring. The report acknowledged that Taliban forces played a significant part in inflicting those defeats, as did the Afghan National Defense and security forces and their international allies. While such reporting by the monitoring team is encouraging, attacks throughout the year in Afghanistan's province, as well as the most recent heinous attacks reportedly perpetrated by ISIL-K against Kabul University and the Green Zone, are stark reminders that ISIL-K remains a threat to the peace and stability of Afghanistan and beyond. Next to such vicious terrorist attacks, the people of Afghanistan must also still endure an active and deadly military campaign by the Taliban, as highlighted by the recent fighting in Helmand province. Mr. President, the overall effectiveness of the 1988 sanction measures rely heavily on close coordination with the government of Afghanistan and member states of the region. In early 2020, the monitoring team traveled to Afghanistan and the region to meet with its interlocutor on the ground to discuss the implementation of 1988 sanction measures as well as to conduct threat assessment. Similarly, and in view of the COVID-19 travel restrictions, the monitoring team virtually met with the National Security Advisor of Afghanistan, Dr. Hamdullah Mohib, this past November to discuss matters pertinent to the 1988 committee mandate. The committee looks forward to a continuous fruitful and cooperative relationship with the government of Afghanistan. Please allow me once again to reiterate that the Security Council Committee established pursuant to Resolution 1988 of 2011 and its monitoring team seek to support the peace process in Afghanistan. The committee looks forward to continued close engagement with UNAMA and other relevant stakeholders in 2021 to ensure the full implementation of the 1988 sanction regime, along with supporting the ongoing Afghanistan peace negotiation. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I thank Ambassador Djani for his briefing. I now give the